I should talk about my first marriage before I move on to the story of living with my biological mom. While I was living with my dad, I met a woman. She was 21 years old. I was 17, and I was just learning about love, making mistakes. And her supposedly husband was 54 years old, but they were not really married. Uh, when they supposedly got married, he had gotten a DUI and they used the money to bail him out and pay the fines. So from that moment on, they just told everybody they got married and they weren't. But still, I shouldn't have been having an affair with somebody else's wife because this bit me in the ass. Well, anyway, the whole thing lasted 4 months and the relationship was great. She left him. She did go back to him for 2 weeks because he said he would change. He was an alcoholic. But by the time, oh yeah, it was 1 week. Sorry, 1 week. By the end of the week, he was drinking again, full on like he was before. In the beginning, nothing on the first day, then like one beer the next day, and it did that all the way until the end of the week. So she knew he didn't change, and so she came back to me. My dad supported the whole thing, and although he didn't think it was right for me to be with somebody else's wife, yeah, he didn't like that idea. But then when he found out that they weren't really married, and he found out about the abuse and control and all this, he had no problem with it, with her leaving that relationship. Anyway, the guy kept bothering us constantly, and we had to get a restraining order. He tried to once take the baby. They had a child together, just one child. He was 5 years old, I do believe. Yeah. And anyway, time and time again, he kept bothering us. And the second time, when she had actually left him, he made sure she couldn't take the baby with her, with her, and so she had visitation. So the first time we were together, she had the child, and we were raising it together. The second time, her husband, ex-boyfriend, had custody of the child. Not custody, but just he said, "I'm keeping this child," and there was nothing she could do. So there was visitation. In the meantime, we got married, and my dad signed for me to get married, and he was there. It was just at the courthouse. It was a simple little thing. We had another person there, friend of the family's. Um, but anyway, she was going on visitation, and she would be gone for 30 minutes at a time, and she would visit him, her son. Well, this last time, which was 3 days later after we got married, she went to visit and didn't come back, and it was an hour when normally she'd be back in 30 minutes. So I went there, and the woman, which was his sister, said that they were gone 30 minutes ago. And so I'm going like, oh my God, where are they? And then when I went back to the place that we were supposed to meet up at, she shows up, and she said, "I'm sorry, but we can't stay together anymore." And I'm going like, what? What happened? And she wouldn't tell me. She just said, "We'll be together in the future. I still love you." And I was begging her not to leave. I mean, we were married and the relationship was great. I let her have full control of everything in the relationship. I was 17. She was 21. And she had a level head on her. But whatever he said on that visitation, it scared her. I don't know what he said. Maybe he threatened her. Maybe he threatened she would never see the child again. I don't know. But she said, "I'm sorry, but we cannot be together anymore." And that was it. I did see her once later on, like, a year later, and we talked just for a few minutes and nothing about us, just about her child. And she, in fact, had another child. Yeah, she had another child by him. So 2 children, and that was a boy. But yeah, it really sucked, and I learned a lesson not to be messing with somebody else's woman because then they could leave you and go back, or they could leave you for somebody else. But I was learning, and it hurt, because I really loved her, I really cared about her, and at least I got the memories of the relationship. But she got the annulment, so in a way, we was never married because once you get annulment, it makes it like you never happened. So I'm always confused on should I say this is my first marriage or should I say not, and just skip because I've been married 3 times. But if that one didn't really exist, then I've only been married twice. All right, so that's it on that. I'm just keeping it real. You guys have a good one.